Good morning, children. So, in the previous part, we have done various concepts and entries regarding issue of shares at par, premium, and discount. So, in this video, we are going to discuss few of the practical questions based on such concepts and entries. So, let us start with the first question. Again, I am saying the number of the questions here is different that from your book, because it might be depending on the edition, but these questions are very much from the practical questions of your book. So the first question which I will be discussing here, it was asked in CBSE 2015 set 1 question paper, and the question says, Tractors India Limited is registered with an authorized capital of rupees 10 lakh divided into 1 lakh equity shares of 10 each. So that means that the capital, authorized capital of the company, which is Tractors India Limited, is 1 lakh equity shares of the value, face value 10 each. That means the total amount of authorized capital is rupees 10 lakh. Now, the further the question says that the company issued 50,000 equity shares. That means out of 1 lakh equity shares, on 1 lakh is the authorized capital or authorized capital shares. But out of 1 lakh, the company issued only 50,000 equity shares at a premium of rupees 5 per share. So that means company issued 50,000 equity shares. That means 50,000 is the issued share at the rate. Now, when you will be showing in the balance sheet or the notes to accounts, you will be showing it at the face value. But the question says that this is issued at a premium of 5 rupees. Premium means over and above the face value. So the face value is 10 plus 5 rupees premium. That means 50,000 equity shares have been issued at 15 rupees. Rupees 2 per share were payable with application, 8 per share including premium on allotment, and the balance amount on first and final call. So that means out of 15 rupees, 2 per share was payable on at the time of application. 8 per share was payable at the time of allotment, and this 8 rupees includes the premium. So that means out of this 8 rupees, 5 rupees is for the premium, and rest of 3 rupees is the nominal value. And the balance amount, so out of 15, 10 rupees if we deduct, 2 of application and 8 of allotment. So how much is left? 5 rupees. So that means the balance amount 5 rupees is to be called up at the time of first and final call. That means we are calling just once, and that will be the final call. The issue was fully subscribed and all the amount due was received except the first and final call money on 500 shares allotted to Balram. So that means the entire 50,000 shares were subscribed by the company, by the public, and all the shareholders have paid all the money, entire 15 rupees on 50,000 shares, except for one shareholder, Balram, who has not paid first and final call money, that is 5 rupees on 500 shares. So that means 500 shares into 5, that means 2500 is basically your calls in arrears. Present the share capital in the balance sheet of Tractors India Limited as per Schedule 3, Part 1 of the Companies Act 2013. Also prepare notes to accounts for the same. So in this question, you need not pass any entries, nothing. You just have to show how these items issued, everything will be shown in case of balance sheet. So as we know that in case of companies, we prepare a vertical form of balance sheet. First of all, we show the equity and liabilities, and then we show the assets. And in the balance sheet of the company, we show the main amount, and rest, the bifurcation and headings and this and that, this is all shown in notes to accounts. So before discussing the balance sheet over here, let us discuss the notes to accounts. So this is the notes to accounts. I have shown point number 1 as share capital, because this is the thing you will be showing in the balance sheet. And as we have already discussed in the previous video, whether any information about the authorized capital or issued capital is given to you or not in the question, but since it is a part of the format, so you have to show it in the notes to accounts. If it is given, you will show it along with the values, and if it is not given, then in that case you will be just showing the name. But in this case, in this question, you are very much informed about the values as well. So in notes to accounts, in case we have shown the heading share capital, and under that first of all goes the authorized capital, and here the authorized capital is 1 lakh equity shares of 10 each, so that makes 10 lakh rupees. And immediately after writing the amount of authorized capital, we'll draw a line. It signifies that it will not be added or deducted while calculating the net amount of share capital. After authorized capital goes the issued capital. So out of 1 lakh equity shares, the company issued 50,000 equity shares. So the issued capital will be 50,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each, which makes 5 lakh rupees. And again, after issued capital also, we need to draw a line so that it signifies that it will not be added or deducted. Then after issued capital, as we have discussed, that we have to show subscribed and fully paid capital. So as we know that entire 50,000 shares were subscribed and all the shareholders paid all the called up money except for a shareholder Balram who did not pay on 500 equity shares. So that means 500 equity share comes under the category subscribed but not fully paid, and rest 49,500 equity shares comes under the category subscribed and fully paid capital. So since in the notes to accounts we have to show it different in a separated form, so first of all we'll write subscribed and fully paid capital, that is 49,500 equity shares, that means excluding the arrears one, of 10 each, fully called up. Now how much you have called up? You have called up. Now again one more thing, here you will just show the face value, whatever the premium or discount is there, that you will show differently under different heads. So in this case you will show the face value only. This is a very important point which you need to keep in your mind. So 49,500 equity shares of rupees 10 each, fully called up, it makes 4,95,000. Then you will show subscribed but not fully paid up capital or paid capital. So there is a shareholder Balram who did not pay the final call money on 500 equity shares. So how will you show this? You will show the number of equity shares on which arrears are due, 500 equity shares of 10 each fully called up, which is 5,000. So 5,000 should have been received, but 2,500 have not been received. So you will show calls in arrear as a deduction, less calls in arrear 500 shares and rupees 5, because first and the final call was not received on it. So 500 shares into 5, that makes 2,500. So remaining, that means subscribed but not fully paid capital, is actually coming to 2,500. So 4,95,000 fully called up and paid up, plus the amount which is subscribed but not fully paid up capital excluding the calls in arrear, that means 2,500. So your net share capital comes to 4,97,500, which will be finally shown in the balance sheet under the heading equity and liabilities, subhead shareholder funds, subhead share capital. And as you can see, we have already discussed the balance sheet format while discussing the chapter common size and comparative statements. There are 4 columns: particulars, note number, current year and previous year. So since in this question no previous year value is given, so therefore previous year column will be left blank, and in case of current year you will write the net amount as we have calculated from notes to accounts. Therefore you need to prepare the notes to account clearly. And in the note number column we have shown point number 1, because the working of share capital is shown on in the point number 1 in case of notes to account. And just for the reminder's sake, while preparing the balance sheet, at the top of the balance sheet you will write the name of the company, Tractors India Limited, and below that you will write balance sheet as at whatever the date is. If you do not write this, your marks will be deducted, and in this case date is not given, therefore we have just written balance sheet as at. So I hope this question is clear to you children. This is a very basic question just to tell you or explain you how the amounts are shown in case of balance sheet and notes to accounts. Now let us proceed with the further question, that is question number 5 here, but again in a serial order. It is second question. The question says Rama company issued 50,000 shares of rupees 10 each, payable as follows: 3 on application, 3 on allotment, 2 on first call and 2 on final call. So here, as you can see, it is not expressly given or informed to you specifically whether the shares are issued at par, premium or discount. So in this case, you have to analyze yourself. How will you analyze? You have to see how much is being called up at, by way of installments, and what is the face value. So the face value of issued shares is 10 rupees, and the issue price is 3 on application plus 3 on allotment, that means 6, plus 2 on first call, that is 8, and plus 2 on final call, that is 10. So that means shares of 10 rupees are issued at 10 rupees. So this is the case of shares issued at par, where issue price is equal to the face value or the nominal value. All the shares were subscribed and allotted. Give journal entries and show the share capital in the balance sheet, assuming that all sums have been duly received. Expenses on issue of shares amounted to rupees 10,000. So this is basically kind of preliminary expenses. Now we'll start with the journal entries, and as we know that in case of whether it is application, allotment, first call, final call, whatsoever it is, we have to pass 2 entries. The one entry will be for receiving and one entry will be for due or transfer. And in case of application, we first pass the receiving entry and then we pass the transfer entry, but in rest of the cases it is just the reverse. So let us start with the journal entries. Very important, you have to make the format in a proper manner. You have to write the heading journal, otherwise your marks will be deducted. So the first entry is for application money received. We have already discussed the entries. So the receiving entry will be bank account debited to equity share application account. So we are receiving 3 rupees of application on 50,000 shares, that means 1,50,000. So we'll pass the receiving entry with 1,50,000, and narration, don't forget to write money received or for money received on application for 50,000 shares at the rate 3 per share. Then we'll transfer the application money to the share capital. So for transfer, as we have already discussed in the previous video, and the logic also, so the transfer entry will be equity share application account debited to equity share capital account, again with the same amount because we have transferred the entire amount. And the narration for transfer of application money to share capital. Now we are done with the application. Now we'll pass the allotment entry, and that at the time of allotment also we are just calling up 3 rupees. So again, in case of allotment and calls, first of all we have to pass the due entry and then we have to pass the receiving entry. So the first entry is for the due of allotment entry. Equity share allotment account debited 1,50,000, because 3 rupees is being called at the time of allotment. So 50,000 into 3 to share capital account with the same amount. And as you can see, the narration for allotment money due on 50,000 shares at the rate 3 per share. And the question says that you have to assume that entire money was duly received. So that means entire amount of allotment was received. Therefore now we will pass the receiving entry with the same amount and with the same logic as we have discussed in the previous video. Bank account debited to equity share allotment account 1,50,000, 1,50,000, and the narration can be for allotment money received. Then you have also, this company has also made the first call. So in case of first call, also the first entry will be for the due, and at the time of first call the company is calling 2 rupees. So 2 rupees on 50,000 shares makes 1 lakh. So the due entry will be equity share first call account debited to equity share capital account with 1 lakh each. After the due entry, we'll pass the receiving entry, and since in this question no call scenario is there, so therefore we'll pass the receiving entry as bank account debited to equity share first call account 1 lakh each. After first call, the company has also made the second call, and in the previous video we have already discussed that whatever will be the last call, whether it is second call, third call, fourth call, etc., we'll attach a word final call. So in this case we are using the word final call, and in this call also we'll first of all pass the transfer or the due entry. So the due entry will be for equity, basically equity share final call account debited, because at the time of final call or second call also company is calling up only 2 rupees. So 2 rupees on 50,000 shares makes 1 lakh each. So we'll pass the due entry as equity share final call account debited 1 lakh to equity share capital account 1 lakh. The narration can be for final call due on 50,000 shares at the rate 2 per share. And after passing the due entry, we'll pass the receiving entry as bank account debited to equity share final call account 1 lakh each, debit and credit. And the question says that 10,000 were spent on issuing shares. So any expenses which are incurred on issuing shares, we use the term share issue expenses. And since these expenses or these amounts are paid by the company, so it is an expense for the companies, and we know that expenses carry a debit balance. So we'll pass the entry for expenses incurred, share issue expenses account debited 10,000 to bank account 10,000 because money is going out from the bank balance. The narration can be for expenses incurred on issue of shares. So these are the journal entries based on this question. Now we have to show how these items will be shown in the balance sheet. So as we know, in the balance sheet we just show the main amount, so therefore bifurcation is shown in case of notes to accounts. So first of all, let us discuss the notes to accounts in this case, and then we'll come back to the balance sheet. As you can see in the notes to accounts, again and again I am repeating that whether authorized and issued capital is mentioned in the question or not, you have to show it in the notes to accounts. So as you can see in the notes to accounts, we have shown point number 1, share capital, authorized capital. Since no amount is mentioned in the question, so therefore we have left it blank, but you have to write dash 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 shares of rupees dash dash each. You have to leave the places blank so that you are telling the entire format. You'll just again put a dash in the amount column. Below the authorized capital, you'll show the issued capital, and then subscribed and paid up, etc. But in this question, whatever is issued, the same have been subscribed and the entire amount has been paid. So here you will write issued capital, because since it is the same, so you can write issued capital, subscribed and fully paid up, because no calls in arrear is there. 50,000 equity shares of 10 each, that makes 5 lakh rupees. So that means in the balance sheet, in your showing the amount of net share capital, you'll be showing 5 lakh. Now there is just point number 2. In case nothing is mentioned regarding the class of shares issued, they are always taken to be equity shares. So this means that whether it is equity or preference, it depends on the information given in the question. And if the question is silent, we'll assume it to be the equity shares. Now coming back to the balance sheet, the same format. Balance sheet of Rama Company as at, date is not mentioned in this question, therefore it has to be left blank, but you have to write as at. In the particulars column, first of all you will show equity and liabilities. Under that you will show the heading shareholder funds, and under the heading shareholder funds you will show the subheading share capital. Note number, we have shown point number 1 because the working of share capital, the calculation of share capital is shown in point number 1 in the notes to accounts. And in the current year column, you will write 5 lakh as we have calculated in notes to account. In the previous year, nothing will be shown because no information was given in the question. So I hope this question is clear to you, children. This is the question of issue of shares at par. Now we are starting with the question of issue of shares at premium. Z Limited was registered with an authorized capital of 60 lakh divided in 60,000 equity shares of 100 each. Company issued 25,000 equity shares. That means out of 60,000, company issued only 25,000 equity shares at a premium of 20 per share. That means 100 was the face value, and these shares are issued at 20 rupees premium per share. So that means 100 plus 20. So issue price is 120. Payable as follows: 30 on application, 45 on allotment including premium. That means out of 45, 20 rupees is the premium amount and 25 rupees is the face value. So 30 on application, 45 on allotment, 20 on first call and 25 on second and final call. So you have to calculate it whether it comes to the issue price or not. So 30 plus 45, 75, 75 plus 20, 95 and plus 25. So that makes 120. All shares were subscribed and all the money was duly received. Share issue expenses amounted to rupees 40,000 which were fully written off against securities premium. Prepare necessary journal entries and bank account in the books of company. So let us start. Again the same order. First of all, we'll pass the receiving entry of the application money. So first entry will be bank account debited to equity share capital account. We are calling and receiving 30 rupees on application. So 30 on 25,000 equity shares. It comes to 7,50,000 on the debit and the credit side, and be very particular with the format, children. After passing the receiving entry, we'll pass the transfer entry of application. Equity share application account debited to equity share capital account with the same amount, 7,50,000 and 7,50,000. After the application entries have been passed, we'll pass the due entry of allotment and premium to be received or received at the time of allotment and calls have to be recorded in the due entry, and if it is to be received at the time of application, it has to be recorded at the transfer entry. So in the due entry of allotment, you will just record premium amount. You'll pass the entry equity share allotment account debited. We are calling 45. So 45 on 25,000 shares comes to 11,25,000. To equity share capital, you will always credit the share capital account with the face value. So out of 45 rupees, if 20 is the premium, so that means 25 basically is your nominal value, face value. So you will credit to equity share capital with 6,25,000, and how you have got it? You have got it as 25 into 25,000 equity shares, and the premium amount of 20 rupees will be shown and will be credited to a separate account, that is securities premium reserve account. So you will credit to securities premium reserve account 5 lakh, and how you have got 5 lakh? 20 rupees of premium on 25,000 shares, it comes to 5 lakh. After passing the due entry, since the question says the entire amount of subscription and called up was received, so you'll pass the receiving entry of allotment. Bank account debited the total amount which was due including premium, 11,25,000, to equity share allotment account, 11,25,000, and the narration will be for allotment money received including premium. Now we are done with the allotment. Now we'll pass the entry for the first and the final call. So the first call, we'll pass the entry due entry, and at the time of first call the company is calling up 20 rupees. So 20 rupees on 25,000 shares makes 5 lakh rupees. So the due entry will be equity share first call account debited 5 lakh to equity share capital account 5 lakh. After passing the due entry, we'll pass the receiving entry as bank account debited 5 lakh to equity share first call account 5 lakh. After passing the entry for the first call, in the similar manner, we'll pass the entry for the final and the second call also. But at the time of second call, the company is calling up 25 rupees. So the due entry will be passed with 25 rupees on 25,000 equity shares, which makes 6,25,000. So the entry will be equity share final call account debited to equity share capital account, 6,25,000 each. After passing the due entry, you will pass the receiving entry as bank account debited to equity share final call account, 6,25,000. So we have done, we have passed all the entries regarding application, allotment and calls, and the question also tells you that the company has incurred 40,000 on issuing shares. So again the share issue expenses entry will be share issue expenses account debited 40,000 to bank account 40,000. Now the question also says that these expenses are to be written off fully against securities premium. That means these 40,000 have to be written off, have to be adjustment out of securities premium reserve. So the entry for writing off share issue expenses will be, now when these expenses were incurred, they were debited. Now when we are writing it off, it will be credited. And where are we writing it off from? Securities premium reserve. So the entry for writing off share issue expenses will be securities premium reserve account debited 40,000 to share issue expenses account 40,000. So we have done, we have passed all the necessary journal entries. Now you have to prepare a bank account also in this question. So as you can see, we have prepared a bank account. On the debit side, particulars, ledger folio amount. Even if you do not make ledger folio, it will be acceptable. Credit side, particulars, ledger folio and amount. So by wherever the bank balance is increasing, all those items will be put on the debit side, and those items which reduces the bank balance will be put on the credit side. So on the debit side, we have recorded all the receiving entries, all the receiving amounts. So 2 equity share application account 7,50,000, 2 equity share allotment account 11,25,000, 2 equity share first call 5 lakh, 2 equity share final calls account 6,25,000. There was no opening balance. And on the credit side, we have shown the share issue expenses incurred by share issue expenses account 40,000. After putting up all the debit and the credit entries, we have to balance it, we have to tally it. We'll total the debit side. So debit side total is coming to 30 lakh, and we'll deduct the credit side, which is 40,000. So 30 lakh minus 40,000, 29,60,000 is the closing balance of bank account. So we'll write by balance carried down 29,60,000, and we'll show the subtotal as 30 lakh on each side. So I hope the question is clear to you. This is the question based on shares issued at premium, in which we also had to write off the expenses on issue of shares, as well as we had to prepare a bank account. Proceeding with the further question. Now this question is based on issue of shares for consideration other than cash. You have to pass the journal entries for the following. Number 1, X Limited purchased land and building from R Sundaram for rupees 5 lakh, payable in fully paid shares of 100 each at a premium of 25%. So that means X Limited is purchasing the land and building from R Sundaram amounting to rupees 5 lakh, and which is payable at fully paid up shares of 100 each at a premium of 25. That means we are issuing the shares to make the payment to R Sundaram of 5 lakh rupees, and the value of shares will be 100 plus 25%, that means 125. So we have to issue the number of shares, so much number of shares which comes to 5 lakh. So that means 5 lakh divided by the per share amount, that is 125. So that means we have to, the number of shares will be 4,000, because since the value is 125, so if we issue 4,000 shares of 125, we'll be able to make or compensate the payment of 5 lakh to Mr. Sundaram. So let us discuss the journal entry. The first entry will be, this is the case of issue of shares to the vendors. So the first entry will be for purchase of asset, that is land and building account debited to R Sundaram. We are crediting R Sundaram on the assumption that it is purchased on credit, because we have to issue them shares. Amount will be 5 lakh each. The next entry is for the issue of shares as a consideration. So R Sundaram's account will be debited, or R Sundaram will be debited, because earlier we had credited him because he was a creditor. Now since we are issuing him the shares, his account will be settled. So we are debiting him with 5 lakh rupees. Then we will credit share capital account, because we are issuing the shares. And as I already told you in the previous question also, that share capital account will always be credited with the face value. So to share capital account. And now in order to make the payment for 5 lakh rupees, since the value of per share issued in this case will be 125, that's why we just have to issue 4,000 shares. How we have calculated the amount to be paid, 5 lakh upon per share value, that is 125. So the face value of 4,000 shares is 100 rupees each, that means 4,000 into 100, 4 lakh. So we'll credit the share capital account with 4 lakh, and the remaining amount of premium which is issued, that is 25 rupees on 4,000 shares, that is 1 lakh, it will be credited to a separate account as to securities premium reserve account. So this is the entries in the books of X Limited in the first case. Second case says, Y Limited decided to issue 2,000 shares of 100 each to the Unit Trust of India as underwriting commission. Now, Y Limited is also issuing the shares for consideration other than cash, and it is basically issuing the 2,000 shares of 100 each. No premium or discount is mentioned. That means these are issued at par by way of underwriting commission. So in this case, in case of underwriting commission, we know that first of all we have to pass the due entry. So the due entry for underwriting commission will be underwriting commission account debited 2 lakh. How we have got 2 lakh? Because 2,000 shares are to be issued at 100 each to the underwriter, that is to Unit Trust of India, because the name is mentioned here. Now this is the due entry for underwriting commission. Now we will pass the entry for issue of share. So underwriter's account will be debited, because earlier when we had passed the due entry, it was credited since it was the creditor. Now since we are issuing them the shares, so therefore their account will be debited, their account will be settled. So Unit Trust of India account debited to share capital account with the face value. Here the face value and issue price is the same. So 2 lakh, 2 lakh. Issue of 2000 shares of 100 each to the underwriters. So this is the entry. Now the next question is based on calls in arrears. X Limited issued 20,000 7% preference shares. Now 7% means that the dividend on preference shares will be paid at the rate of 7%. You need not bother about it as of now. Of 100 each, that means 100 is the face value at a premium of 6%. So 6% of 100 rupees is basically 6 rupees. So that means shares, preference shares of 100 are issued at 100 plus 6, that is 106. Payments were to be made as 25 on application, 46 on allotment, 10 on first call and 25 on final call. Since no information is given, so we'll assume that 46 on allotment includes the 6 rupees of premium. The applications for 18,000 shares were received and all were accepted. That means issued were 20,000 but received or subscribed was 18,000. This is the case of under subscription also. So in such a case we will not do any calculation with the 20,000 shares, rather we will do the calculation with the 18,000 shares only. And all the money were duly received, all the shares were duly accepted and all the money was duly received except the first and final call on 100 shares. That means 25 rupees of final call and 10 rupees of first call. That means altogether these two calls money were not received on 100 shares. So this will be the calls in arrear, and we have already discussed in the previous video that we can pass the entries by opening calls in arrear account or by not opening calls in arrear account. But in this case, we will be seeing how it is to be done. Here we will open calls in arrear accounts because it is feasible for you to open it, because ultimately you have to show the amount of calls in arrear in case of balance sheet. Give the necessary journal entries and prepare cash book of the company. Also show share capital in the balance sheet of the company. Now one more thing children, you have to basically prepare the cash book in this case. So the rule says that whenever a cash book is prepared, you need not pass the receiving entry, you need not pass the journal entry for the receiving money. So all the receiving entries will directly be posted in the cash book, and we'll just pass the due or the transfer entries or written off entries. And in this case you also have to show the share capital in the balance sheet of the company. So that I will not be discussing, that I will leave it at your discretion. That will be a kind of your homework assignment to do it. So let us start. Before starting, let us see how it will be discussed. So 25 rupees will be received on application, and very important, do not do the calculation with 20,000 shares, because 20,000 is just the issued share, but ultimately the subscribed application shares are only 18,000. And here the shares which are issued and subscribed is the preference shares, so therefore you have to specifically mention the word preference share. So 25, and in case of application, first of all we record the receiving entry. So 25 rupees of application on 18,000 means 4,50,000. So as we know, in the case of cash book also, whatever decreases the cash balance will be shown in the credit side, and whatever increases the cash or bank balance will be shown on the debit side. So with this application received, we will show the received amount on the debit side as 7% preference share. This is the rule, you have to mention the rate also. So 7% preference share application account, that is 25 rupees on 18,000 shares, which is 4,50,000. And then you will pass the transfer entry, 7% preference share application account debited 4,50,000 to preference share capital account 4,50,000. Next you have to pass the entry for the allotment due. So since we are passing the allotment due entry and no information is given in the question, so we'll assume that we have to record the premium at the time of allotment only, and we have to record the premium at the time of due entry. So here we will pass the due entry of allotment as 7% preference share allotment account debited 8,28,000. How we have got 18,000 into 46 rupees. To preference share capital account, again with the face value, that is 18,000 shares into 40 rupees, and then premium amount will be shown separately, that is to securities premium reserve account, that is 1,08,000. How you have got this? You have got this 18,000 into 6 rupees. And since the question says that all the money was duly received except for 100 shares on first and final call, so that means allotment was entirely received. So we will pass the receiving entry. Now in this case, since we are preparing the cash book, so while preparing the cash book, on the debit side we'll write to 7% preference share allotment account 8,28,000. Now we have to pass the due entry for the share first call. And at the time of first call, the company is calling up 10 rupees. So the due entry for the first call will be 7% preference share first call account debited 1,80,000 to 7% preference share capital account 1,80,000. So 1,80,000 was supposed to be received, but it could not be received on 100 shares. 10 rupees of first call was not received on 100 shares. So 100 share into 10, that means 1,000. So that means out of 1,80,000, 1,000 was not received. So ultimately how much was received? 1,79,000. So that we have shown on the debit side of the cash book as 7% preference share first call account 1,79,000. Then we will pass the due entry for the share final call. So in case of second and final call, the company is calling up 25 rupees on obviously 18,000 shares, because these were the subscribed shares. So the due entry for final call will be 7% share final call account debited 4,50,000, that is 18,000 shares into 25 rupees, to 7% preference share capital account 4,50,000. So this was supposed to be received, but the final call of 25 rupees was not received on 100 shares. That means 100 into 25, 2,500. So out of 4,50,000, 2,500 was not received. So how much was ultimately received? 4,47,500. So this will be shown on the debit side as 7% preference share final call account 4,47,500. Now in this case, no other entry is to be recorded in the cash book. So we'll just balance it. We'll total the debit side. It is coming to 19,04,500. Credit side, nothing is there. So that means the entire amount of 19,45,500 will be the balancing figure. So on the credit side, we have shown by balance carried down 19,04,500. Now we have to record the calls in arrears also. So we'll write calls in arrears account debited altogether 3,500. We are debiting calls in arrears because this is a kind of an asset for the company, because it is to be received. It has already fallen due, but it has not been received. So calls in arrears account debited 3,500 to 7% preference share capital account 1,000. Because 1,000 is for the first call, and 7% preference share final call account 2,500. We have combined the entry for the first and the final call. So ultimately 3,500 rupees is due on calls in arrear. Now these are the journal entries and cash book. How these items have to be shown in the balance sheet? Basically you have to show the share capital in the balance sheet. So that I'm leaving it at you, that you will be doing it on your own. But just I'm explaining you, while preparing the balance sheet, first of all you will prepare the notes to accounts. In notes to accounts you will be showing first item as authorized capital. Since nothing is mentioned, you will just write authorized capital dash number of preference shares at the rate of dash each. You'll leave it blank. Then after that you will write issued capital, and you will write 20,000 7% preference shares at the rate 100 each. You'll write the face value 20,000 into 100 each, that means 2 lakh. Then you will write subscribed and fully paid up capital. So you will write out of 18,000 shares, amount were not received on 100 shares. So 18,000 minus 100, which comes to 17,900. So you will write 17,900 7% preference shares of 100 each. You will write the amount. Then you will write subscribed but not fully paid up capital 100 shares, 107% preference shares at the rate 100 each, whatever the amount is. Then out of that you will deduct call scenario, and whatever the net amount comes, that will be shown in the balance sheet. So this was the question based on calls in arrear, and it is very much advisable that you open the calls in arrear account and you do. And one more important point which we learnt in this question was, if we are preparing the cash book, we need not pass the receiving journal entries. These can directly be posted in the cash book itself. Rest of the entries, due, transfer, calls in arrear, etc., that we will pass in the normal manner. Now the next question. Chandra Limited issued 40,000 equity shares of 10 each at par. That means 10 is the face value and 10 is the issue price. Payable as to rupees 2.5 on application, 2 on allotment, 2.5 on first call, and 3 on final call. So it makes 10 rupees. It is quite obvious that these shares are issued at par. All the shares were allotted and amount received except Mohan, holding 800 shares, paid the final call money along with the first call, and Naresh, holding 300 shares, did not pay the first call money in time. He paid the first call money along with the final call. So this is the question where this is a very good question, because in this question calls in arrear is also given and calls in advance is also given. Mohan is paying calls in advance. He is paying the final call money on 800 shares along with the first call. But Naresh is doing the arrear. He is paying the first call money at the time of final call. You have to make the journal entries for first call and final call in the books of companies. So in this question, you need not pass the entries for allotment, application, etc. You directly have to pass the entries for the first call and the final call. So in both the cases, first of all, we will pass the due entry. So we are passing the due entry first of all for the first call, that is equity share first call account debited. So how much we are calling at the time of first call? 2.5 rupees. So 2.5 on 40,000 equity shares, that is 1 lakh, to equity share capital account 1 lakh. Now we will pass the receiving entry. The receiving entry will be bank account debited, that is 1,01,650. How we have got it? We'll just discuss it. First of all, you understand bank account will be debited with the amount received. It includes the amount of advance as well as the first call. Then calls in arrears account debited because Naresh, holding 300 shares, did not pay the first call. So 2.5 on 300 shares, that means 750 is the due amount. To equity share first call. How much is to be received for equity share first call? That is your 1 lakh amount. And to calls in advance, how much we are receiving in advance? Mohan, having 800 shares, has paid the final call of 3 rupees, that means on 800, that is 2400. So we have recorded it all together. Bank account debited with the entire amount of actually first call received and advance received. Calls in arrear with the due amount, outstanding amount. To equity share first call account with entire 1 lakh, because we are closing it. We have already opening calls in arrears. And to calls in advance with the advance money received. Calls in advance is credited because it is a liability for the company. Alternatively, how you can pass the entry? If you do not open the calls in arrear account. Bank account debited with the actual amount received of first call and your advance. To equity share first call 1 lakh minus the outstanding amount of 750, that is 99,250. To calls in advance account 2400. So this is alternatively without opening the calls in arrear account. But again I am saying you will open the calls in arrear account. Next entry is for final call due. Equity share final call due, that is 3 rupees on 40,000 shares. So equity share final call account debited 1,20,000, that is 40,000 into 3. To equity share capital account 1,20,000. And then you will pass the receiving entry. bank account debited. Now you had to receive 1,20,000 at the time of final call, but 2,400 one shareholder has already paid. So that means out of 1,20,000, 2,400 is already paid. That means actually now you will receive only 1,17,600. That is 1,20,000 minus 2,400. So at the time of receiving entry of final call, you will pass the entry bank account debited with the remaining amount 1,17,600. Calls in advance account will be debited because when you received it in advance, it was credited. Now the time has already come when it is fallen due. So you will debit it so as to close the calls in advance account. So calls in advance account will be debited 2,400 to equity share final call account with how much was actually due, that is 1,20,000. One more thing children, while preparing the balance sheet, calls in advance account or advance amount is basically shown under other current liabilities under the heading current liabilities. Then the question says that the amount of calls in arrear which was due from Naresh was received at the time of final call. So now you will pass the receiving entry of arrear amount. Bank account debited 750 which was due. To calls in arrears account 750 because when it was outstanding it was debited. Now since you are receiving it, so you need to close the calls in arrear account. So you will credit to calls in arrears account 750. So this is the entry for calls in arrear received, and you will pass this entry bank account debited 750 to calls in arrear account 750 if you have opened the calls in arrear account, and if you did not open the account, then you will pass the entry bank account debited 750 to equity share first call account 750. Again I am saying you need to open the calls in arrear account, it will be better for you. So I hope all the 6 questions discussed in this video is clear to you children. I have covered one questions each on each of the topics that we discussed in the previous video. Now this is the assignment based on this part. You have to solve practical question number 1, 3, 6, 7, 9 and 13 from the chapter Company Accounts, Issue of Shares of Your Accounts Book, Volume 2 by D.K. Goyal. So just go through the videos once again children, revise the concept theoretically and conceptually, and also go through all the practical questions that we have discussed here. Revise the entries along with the logic, it will be easier for you, and especially revise all the notes, all the points to be remembered which is given to you children. And in the previous video, we have already discussed concepts on the basis of which we have discussed the practical question here. In the upcoming video, we will be further proceeding with the chapter. Thank you children, take care.